I wish I could just go live on both of my phones at the same time. I mean, on my Periscope and my Facebook. I don't know how I got here. Okay, so good evening. Good evening. I would like to talk about the herpes virus tonight. So I know it's late, right? Hope I don't get a lot of weirdos, you know. Are you following me? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the herpes virus tonight. And I am getting this information off of the Scientific America. Right here. And it's called Children Can Inherit Herpes Via Parental DNA. And it says, new research indicates parents may pass on the infection to their kids in their genetic material. So it says, a chip off the old block. A kid inherits a multitude of his or her parents' traits, such as eye and hair color. But the new evidence suggests that parents may also pass on a common virus to their offspring hereditarily. Researchers estimate that one of every 116 newborns may have human herpes virus HHV6 infections that originated when the virus inserted its genetic material into that part of their parents' DNA. HHV6 is the virus responsible for rosola, a mild childhood infection resulting in high fevers and occasionally associated with a rash. In rare cases, the infection is accompanied by seizures as well as respiratory and gastrointestinal complications. By age 3, nearly all children have acquired the virus, most likely passed through the saliva of caretakers or other kids. Now remember that saliva is your tears, your nasal drip, and your earwax. That's all part of your saliva. Remember that all of this is connected. So your saliva comes out and mucus in your eyes, you know, just different things. So you know that when you sneeze, your sneeze goes so many feet, right? So that's why they always tell you, cover your mouth when you sneeze. Do like this, put your face in your clothes or whatever you need to do to prevent your sneeze from going every which way, right? Because it's disgusting. About 1% of all infants in U.S. are born with asymptomatic infections. Scientists have long believed asymptomatic infections is those that are undetected, which they don't look like. Not that they haven't did any blood work, but they, on their outer appearance, they don't look like it. Scientists have long believed that they were infected in their utero when viral particles from their pregnant mothers caused the placental barrier. But a recent study published in Pediatrics documents a new mechanism for infection in which HHV6 integrated into parental DNA is passed on at conception. Following childhood infection, HHV6 remains latent in the human body, although it may reactive and immunocompromised patients, potentially triggering complications such as pneumonia or encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. In less than 1% of all adults, the virus can also quietly slip its own DNA into the human genome, making it possible for mothers and fathers to pass HHV6 to their offspring if these insertions are present in their eggs or sperm. For the study, researchers examined 254 children ranging in age from newborn to 3 years of age for signs of congenital HHV6 infection. Of the 43 infants found to harbor the infection, 6 contracted it through the placenta, whereas the remaining 36 contracted it from chromosomally integrated virus. Babies that inherited the virus from other parents' DNA exhibited much high levels of virus in their system, with urine, blood, and even hair follicles testing positive. With chromosomal integration, all cells have the virus from the beginning, says senior study author Carolyn Hall, a pediatrician at the University of Rochester. But she adds it is unclear whether the presence of the virus during development affects a child's health. Even the ability of integrated HHV6 to replicate, producing new infectious virus, remains an open question. Researchers have discovered, however, that HHV6 inserts itself into telomeres, telomeres, DNA regions at chromosome ends that are important for immune regulation and aging. Viral integration into telomeres can disrupt chromosome function and spark a plethora of complications, including cancers, says Stephen Jacobson, chief of viral immunology at the National Institute of Neurological Disorder and Stroke, who was not involved in the work. In fact, preliminary evidence already exists that HHV6 may be associated with lymphomas, lymphomas, a diverse set of cancers affecting the cells of immune system. HHV6 has also been a suspected culprit in neurological disorders, including epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and chronic fatigue syndrome. Preliminary evidence even suggests that antiviral therapies could successfully treat central nervous system dysfunctions in patients with chromosomally integrated HHV6, according to Stanford University infectious disease specialist Jose Montoya and his student Mitchell Lund, who presented their unpublished work at a recent conference. Undoubtedly, Hall's latest research will spur other scientists to test more widely for the presence of integrated HHV6 in patients suffering from these disorders. For now on, Hall and her colleagues plan to continue following the congenitally infected infants to determine if their development is adversely affected by the presence of HHV6 in their GEMOMES. The good news, Hall notes, that physicians have the tools to diagnose these inherited infections at birth, empowering families to take preventative measures if further study reveals that HHV6 adversely affects kids who carry it. So bottom line is, is that a person who has MS has MS because they have contracted, or a person that is deaf is because it is a result of their parents having herpes. So herpes could also show up as cancers. Herpes can show up as acne. Herpes can show up as colds. Herpes can show up as arthritis. Herpes can show up as different things going on in the body. So what I want to show you guys, is pictures of herpes. So I want to show you guys what's going on. You know that when you hit your foot, and the inflammation starts, so they got different kind of herpes, okay? I didn't know that. So the inflammation starts underneath your skin way before you see it on the top part. So you see how these right here is showing up, right? Now this is happening actually underneath your skin before you see it. So it's going on inside of your body before you actually see it. So if you are, it causes extreme pain. It's misdiagnosed for shingles. So if you have been in any type of pain, right, I would suggest that you go get tested for herpes. So it's different kind of breakouts here. So did it load? Yeah. So I'm going to show the last set of pictures, and then I'm going to talk about it some more. Oh, this is just like what it just was. Okay, so herpes could have been, and first of all, herpes is hereditary. So it is passed on from ages, not just, you know, something that just started. Now, a person could have flare-ups with herpes because they have come into contact with someone that has something else. So then the herpes virus would start to show because of what someone else may have going on in their body. Now, herpes could have been all the way back from your great parents, right? And that's how far back that it will go, and it will continue to spread because it is genetic. It runs through your genes. So it could have been just putting them from water. It could have been putting them from eating animals, meat. It could have been putting them from eating also stuff that has been sprayed with the virus. It could have been putting them from bugs being injected with the virus, and then mosquitoes biting you. It could have been passed on from a person being bit by a bug, and that person had it, and then that bug came and bit you. So you want to make sure that you are doing natural things, right, for bug repellents. You know, I wouldn't suggest going and buying any type of chemical based anything, because anything with a chemical in it is actually making your problem worse and actually spreading your disease, as opposed to killing it, right? It's actually spreading it. So, you know, you want to help yourself out with that. That's why you want to make sure that what you're putting on your body, or brushing your teeth with, everything that you're doing, natural products. Now, I have insight. I have come up with something that the Lord has blessed me with to be able to cause a healing, not just substantial, something to sustain you, or something to, you know, to help you to live for 15 more years, but something to heal you of herpes. And I'm going to actually make it, and I'm going to give it to someone, and I'm going to see if that completely kills the disease, completely kills it. Not, you know, sustaining it, because it will show up as arthritis. It causes extreme pain in your body. It causes abnormal growth in your limb, your bones. It causes headaches and fatigue. It causes a show up like cancer because it is mucus. And when you are eating different kind of foods like sugars and salt, and it's determining where it's going, that's causing the inflammation inside of your body. So it's showing up like cancer. And that's why you want to be able to attack the root, because it's probably really not cancer. It's probably herpes. So it's probably really not cancer. It's probably herpes. It's probably really not that you have acne. It's probably herpes. It's probably really not these type of things. It's probably just herpes. And herpes could have been contracted from, you know, generations back. Not just a person who have had, you know, sex with a person and they've contracted it just like that. It may have flared up because it was already in you. Like they said that, you know, like when I was in high school, I learned that every person is born with everything living on the inside of them. Now, it's about what makes the disease contract. So what you have to do is kill the contraction of the disease. So I believe I have a remedy, and it's not for free, and I'm not going to tell it. And I'm going to see if it's going to work, and if it works, it's going to be for sale. And so, yeah, remember that, you know, MS is something that, because they've been saying, how does a person, people don't know where MS come from. MS come from your parents having herpes. That's where it come from. So if you wanted to get some information, there it is. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining. Have a good night.